Hello, I'm back. Here is the kind of part two of this video. I just have at the top here conflict in Piper. This is just like the worksheet you're going to see. It's going to look like this about touching Spirit Bear. So it's the second page in your worksheet. It says our conflict, our person to person, we discovered is that Piper wants to continue to be fed by her mother, but she's outgrown it and needs to fend for herself. um, I'm trying to be very clear with my conflict. I'm trying to make sure that I identify what it is about this conflict that makes it person to person. I have Piper and her mother, and not just there's a conflict between the two of them. I could just write Piper and her mother. That's not enough. I need to actually say Piper wants to continue to be fed by her mother, but she's outgrown it, needs to fend for herself. I need to actually show how this is a conflict, okay? Not just the people that are involved. Then, as a resolution, if as we watch the movie, we know that she learns through trial and error how to find that food and then ultimately to feed herself so that she can fend for herself in the end. We look at person versus nature. um, if you remember, those waves kept crashing into her, and it was difficult for her to eat. Piper can't eat because the waves keep crashing. Our resolution, Piper tries over and over. She watches that little crab and looks to that little crab as a model for what to do to conquer those waves and in order to follow their lead. The very next one is person versus society. So, how does Piper have a conflict with those around her? And if you look at her and the others in society, all the other birds early in the movie are experts. They're all expertly gathering their food with no worries, it seems, at least in Piper. uh, In our perspective, from Piper's perspective, they're all doing great. They're all doing well with it. She's not. She wants to be like them. She wants to join them in order to belong. Um, in the end, she follows the model of the crabs, and not only is she able to fit in with the other birds and feed herself, she actually learns such an effective strategy because it's different than everyone else's that she's able to feed all the other birds, and they're really grateful. They're thankful that she's doing it for them. Finally, and we see this in the very beginning, Piper versus herself. She lacks confidence. She's scared. She doesn't, she's scared of those big waves. They are scary and large and they're knocking her down. And so she doesn't want to continue right in the beginning. She has trouble believing in herself. And so finally, with the resolution, she watches what those small crabs do and she decides that to use their different strategy. And as she uses that different strategy, it builds her confidence. It's something different. Nobody else is doing it, but it works. And so it builds her confidence. She's motivated to solve her problem in a new way, and she's confident in her new abilities. So, some things I want to point out as you're putting this together, thinking about Cole and thinking about touching Spirit Bear, try to be really clear and specific. So when you're thinking about the resolution, yeah, I could very easily just on all of these write, she learns how to eat or she finds food. But there's more to it than that. If you notice, each of these resolutions are slightly different because they are addressing that specific conflict. I know all these conflicts are related. They're all related to Piper ultimately needing to get food, but they're a different kind of a spin on that same conflict. She wants to be fed by her mother, but can't anymore. That is person versus person. The waves keep crashing her down. That's person versus nature. My point is, you want to try to find that resolution that fits or I should say that addresses the conflict. Okay. So, once again, I hope you do. I hope you have a good time with this. Feel free to email me or call me with any questions. Have a great day. Be good humans.